Some songs are sacred, and when someone dares to mess with them, it doesn't just spark controversy, it triggers full-on feuds. From pop icons who twisted legendary lyrics to rock stars who turned classics into cringe, these 10 cover songs weren't just hated by fans, they were downright loathed by the original artists. One even ignited a behind-the-scenes war that ended in an icy public takedown. Let's break down the covers that crossed the line, and the legends who weren't afraid to call them. When Celine Dion stepped on stage in Las Vegas and belted out AC/DC's hard rock anthem, "You Shook Me All Night Long," it wasn't just unexpected, it was a crime against rock, according to the band themselves. Dressed in a glittery bodysuit and backed by a horn section, Dion's theatrical performance clashed hard with the gritty, testosterone-fueled vibe of the original. AC/DC's lead singer Brian Johnson didn't hold back, calling it a crime against rock and roll. Fans were equally horrified. The whole thing felt more like a cabaret spoof than a tribute, and AC/DC wanted absolutely nothing to do with it. Years earlier, Madonna decided to reimagine Don McLean's folk rock masterpiece, American Pie, and let's just say the original artist didn't exactly get into the groove. Her 2000 version turned the somber ballad into a glossy Y2K dance track, complete with SYNTHs and high-gloss visuals. McLean's reaction? Brutal. He compared it to a dance mix of the Brady Bunch, and said it completely missed the heart of the song, which was meant to mourn the loss of innocence and the death of a musical era. For him, Madonna's version stripped the soul right out of it. George Michael's Faith was already a global pop smash, smooth, sexy, and radio perfect. So when Limp Bizkit got their hands on it and turned it into a screaming nu metal rage track, it was more than just a remix, it was an identity crisis. George Michael reportedly hated the aggressive tone and frat boy energy the cover brought to his iconic song. What was once a flirtatious strut became an angry stomp, and Fred Durst's growling delivery didn't help. Michael didn't just dislike it, he wanted nothing to do with it. But if you think artistic beefs stop with the originals, just ask Natalie Cole. When Will I Am decided to remix her father's classic, Mona Lisa, the Black Eyed Peas frontman probably expected applause for modernizing a timeless tune. What he got instead was fury. Natalie Cole slammed the remix as disrespectful, accusing Will I Am of cashing in on her father's legacy without understanding the soul of the music. The autotune, the electronic beats, it was everything the original wasn't, and she wanted no part of it. Miley Cyrus may have been riding high on her post-Hannah Montana rebellion, but her decision to cover Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit live on tour didn't sit well with anyone, especially not Courtney Love. The widow of Kurt Cobain called Miley's performance a karaoke nightmare, and fans agreed. The raw, dirty energy of Nirvana's anthem was replaced with polished vocals and pop rock showboating. To Courtney, it was more insult than tribute, and she made sure the world knew it. Avril Lavigne's cover of John Lennon's Imagine was meant to be heartfelt, but it quickly spiraled into one of the most awkward moments of her career. Performed during a charity event, the version was accused of being overly theatrical and emotionally shallow. Yoko Ono reportedly found it cringeworthy, and critics didn't hold back either. The backlash was so intense that Lavigne ended up distancing herself from the performance entirely. It was supposed to be a feel-good moment. It turned into a PR disaster. Sometimes even chart-topping covers can hit the wrong note, just ask Alien Ant Farm. Their rock version of Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal became a massive hit in the early 2000s, blasting from every radio station and MTV Countdown. But behind the scenes, Michael Jackson wasn't laughing. While he never publicly slammed the cover, sources close to the king of pop said he found it bizarre and mockworthy. The slapstick music video and punk energy clashed with the slick danger of the original, and MJ apparently made it clear, this one wasn't his jam. Madonna's name pops up again, and this time, she ruffled feathers in Sweden. Her 2005 hit, Hung Up, famously sampled ABBA's Gimme Gimme Gimme, but what most people don't know is that ABBA almost blocked its release entirely. The Swedish pop giants are notoriously protective of their catalog, and initially, they were furious that Madonna used their track. It took months of legal negotiations and personal apologies to smooth things over, and even then, ABBA kept their distance. They let her use the sample, but they never endorsed it. Not all covers come from a place of admiration. Sometimes they come from a place of calculated sanitization, and no story makes that clearer than Pat Boone's cover of Little Richard's Tutti Frutti. In the 1950s, white artists often re-recorded black musicians' songs for mainstream radio play. Boone's version stripped the song of its raw energy, smoothed over its wild edges, and made it safe for suburban America. Little Richard hated it. He called it vanilla nonsense and said Boone's version erased everything that made the original special. The only silver lining? It made people curious enough to check out the real thing. Closing out the list is a California feud that many fans didn't see coming. When the Beach Boys released their cover of California Dreamin', they thought they were paying homage to fellow icons the Mamas and the Papas. But Michelle Phillips, one of the original members, had other ideas. She called the cover soulless and said the harmonies were butchered. What was meant as a loving tribute ended up sounding, to her, like a hollow imitation. For a band known for its harmonies, that stung. Some covers breathe new life into old hits, but others leave the original artists cringing, confused, or straight up furious. Whether it's a missed message, a tonal disaster, or a flat-out disrespectful remix, these versions didn't just fall flat, they lit a fuse. So which ones do you think deserve the backlash, and which ones secretly slapped? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more music drama deep dives.